Hello, my name is Grumpy. The new video, the new ISC video, and apparently it's about the MISC Fury, and hopefully it's good. I think that this ship is gonna be overpowered, just like from reading the stats. The stats, I mean, we got leaks, and I don't know if they're like set in stone. If those stats are not going to be changed, they're probably going to be nerfed at some point. But currently the stats are, and you can see this in my Discord, so you can join my Discord if you want to. So Snub Fighter, career combat, size is 1, crew size 1, body 1,534 HP, not that good. Total just over 6,500 HP. Okay, whatever. Dimensions, really small. Mass, 15 tons, I guess. Yeah, 15 tons. Speed, this is like the SCM speed. This is all gonna change once we get like, what are they called? Fight modes and stuff like that. Afterburner speed, it's super fast. It's basically a TIE fighter. Therefore, like, hence the thing that I have on the thumbnail, or the TIE fighter. Maximum pitch, yaw, and roll. This is like a Gladius, basically, which I dig. But then again, Gladius pilots are going to be pissed off. And the weirdest part is that like it's smaller, so it's a smaller target. So yeah, hydrogen capacity, blah blah blah. Armor minus 52 physical damage. Sure. And then in the end, you have 4 size 2 repeaters on them. It's fucking amazing. And then with the other one, the MISC Fury whatever MX, you get like a shit ton of missiles. So I think it's gonna be overpowered to a degree. But anyway, let's play the video and let's check it out.
Invictus is here, and for the next 2 weeks, we'll be learning and showcasing as much as we can about the new ships and vehicles making their debut at this year's event. And since there's nothing that I can say that's anywhere as cool as what you're about to see, let's just get right to it, shall we?
We have a lot of ships and vehicles.
But there's one thing that Avenger 1 is forgetting about. That's like the engines in the back. Because those engines are gimbaled engines, just like in the car-to-wall. And car-to-wall is like in the hands of a good pilot, it is the most OP fighter. Like hands down. It's better than like the Gladius, the Arrow, or whatever. Yes, it has like a huge ass cross section. The front section it's a cross section, but it's so maneuverable that it's crazy.
In our game now, keeping brands with a consistent theme is important because it helps immerse you in the universe. You see a ship of a certain style and role, and you go, that's that manufacturer. So having brands and sub-brands or entirely different brands helps strengthen that narrative. MISC is traditionally very industrial, very civilian, and we really like MISC styling as a brand. It made sense to introduce Mirai as their performance subdivision.
There's a lot of possibilities for where we can take this brand in the future. And not only will Mirai be heading in new directions design-wise, it's also a great opportunity to go in unsafe directions that maybe MISC wouldn't have done themselves. Kind of blending of human and Xi'an technology already in MISC, and one of their charges is going to be taking it even farther.
So how many of you guys are excited about Invictus, and how many of you guys are going to buy a ship? And also, I love the looks of the MISC Fury. But what I don't get, I mean, it's such a small thing. It's just like, oh, we have a subdivision. Why though? Like, whatever, dude.
With the introduction of Mirai as a brand, this gave us the perfect opportunity to introduce a more military fighter to the lineup. And so we introduced the Mirai Fury. The Mirai Fury is extremely compact. It allows itself to fold up into as small a package as we could possibly make a ship of this classification.
The Fury.
Come on, this thing looks amazing. And also this format of a ship would be really good for like those repair ships, like for drones and stuff like that. I really dig
itself to fold up into as small a package as we could possibly make a ship of this classification.
The Fury is a cockpit with some engines, some components, and some weapons strapped to it, to put it bluntly.
So the Mirai Fury aims to take everything that makes Xi'an super impressive with all of its grav tech and ability to gimbal thrusters and be super maneuverable. It has really cool folding wings that allows you to get it into tiny ships.
So if you have a ship with a cargo grid or an area for cargo that's large enough.
Wait, does he have like landing gear?
A ship with
I don't see any landing gear here.
With a cargo grid or an area for cargo that's large enough and a door big enough to fit it in.
What do I think the price will be for the Fury? I have like in my Discord, and you're free to join if you want to. I have like a channel every time when we know that like there's gonna be a new ship or whatever. I make the price is right kind of a thing in my channel, and I said $35. Maybe even like $40. I don't think it's gonna be much higher. $120 for a snub fighter.
You can get the ship on board and helps provide on-demand support from any attacks that you may find yourself coming under whilst out in deep space.
Some might look at this and say the Mirai Fury reminds them of another popular spacecraft. What would
The TIE Fighter, right?
you say to that?
Not even the TIE Fighter. What's the one that... who fucking flew it? So that you had the TIE Fighter with like vertical wings, and then you had Darth Vader's one, which had like these kind like concave, convex, whatever wings, and then you had one of the TIE Fighters that would like extrude forward. The Interceptor, is it that? You know what I'm getting? Like I don't know what. Oh, okay. Yeah, that one. Thank you. The Interceptor.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, okay, sure.
So when you approach the Fury, you'll first notice this.
I'm glad that the wings just moved to the side instead of out. Yes. Because, like, am I the only guy that's tired of having planes in space? Like Gladius, Arrow, Vanguard, whatever. All of the ships, well, not all, but like most of the ships in Star Citizen are basically planes.
This big glass dome that gives you massive visibility.
Although, with that said, it's a question of how this will perform once we get like flight modes and once we get aerodynamics in the game. How will it perform in atmosphere?
And then the seat will pop out and come and present itself to you, a little bit like the Asperia Talon. So you get to look at this massive glass canopy, which is super helpful for the pilot. And when it's in like its collapsed mode, you get to see all the different underneath parts of the wing with all like the nose step on it, where the maintenance guys would have to step on. You've got the component bays coming out the side of the body. Everywhere you go, there's just components everywhere.
Cool.
It's crazy how densely packed this thing is together. You've got air-to-air refueling port on the top. You've got all your personal...
Every ship should be like this. Well, that's like at least my thought. Because like whenever I build ships in Space Engineers, as an example, I would always try to like fit as much stuff in like the smallest area that I could.
Storage, yeah, and the flaps at the back as well. We can't wait to get atmospheric flight in, so those things can work for you. The lights on the end of the wingtips as well that will blink intermittently, so they'll swap.
We'll probably start having more carrier-type battles between players and orgs. You sure about that? Because, yeah, you can fit this. I saw, like, screenshots. You can fit this into the Caterpillar. You can fit this into so every compartment in the Caterpillar could fit one, and you can also fit it in the C2. I think even like the Valkyrie. So like the ship is small, but you're gonna, let's say you're the pilot of the Caterpillar, right? And I don't know how many compartments does the Caterpillar have, like 12, something like that. Are you gonna find 12 other friends that are gonna like man the MISC Furies? Like, who's gonna do that? Maybe some LARPers, like some live action role players, and that's it. It's a snub fighter. Yeah, it doesn't have quantum.
Swap around. So when you're in transform mode, they'll kind of like switch which one's going. Alex did an amazing job on that. All around the back, these thrusters kind of presenting themselves
This should help a lot with maneuverability.
To you in their gravity cradle that will flip.
And when I say maneuverability, like, yeah, you can see the stats and all of that, but the question is how much acceleration in like during tricording, which is like moving in all the directions, like into three directions, so upwards, right, and forward, right? So that's like tricording. How much acceleration are you going to get? Is it going to be better than the Gladius? Is it going to be better than the Aero? Blah, blah, blah.
Up and down, depending on whether it's landed or not. When you're in atmosphere, you'll notice the bottom ones move more than the top, but once you're in space, that flips around. It's so maneuverable. You're constantly going to be throwing it around in directions it shouldn't be. You're like pulling.
This is what I'm excited about, honestly. First of all, the cockpit is fucking amazing, right? Like, you can see everything in front of you. That's how a cockpit in a spaceship should be. Like, tell me that I'm wrong. Like the Freelancer, and on all of like the C2 and all that, it's just like BS. Honestly, it's a plane and it has like a plane cockpit, and I mean it's okay, but you can't see shit. Now, when you get a cockpit like this, like in the Reliant Core and like the Reliant series, you just get like all the screen unlocked, and this is, I mean, I honestly cannot wait to fly this.
Of G-forces. So having that visibility is going to be really important, and it's something we tried our best not to compromise on.
The view from the cockpit allows you to see pretty much the whole picture of combat ahead of you. You have fantastic agility to maneuver yourself around threats, and it just looks really cool, just the cockpit picture.
There's one thing that I'm concerned about. The weapons being that far out, it's cool that you can see them, but I had like a complaint on Issue Console reports, I don't know, 2 years ago, when they redid some like whatever, like graphical effects and all of that, and like lighting and all of that. The Gladiator, if you even know what it is, because nobody flies it, that's like It's like in between a Hawk and a Hornet, but it has like size 5 torpedoes. You probably saw it. But it has a turret gunner. And the turret like extends all the way above the pilot. And when the turret fires, it's so bad, like the flashing is so bad that like if you have epilepsy, you should not be the pilot ever. So I'm scared that this thing might do the same, but I guess we'll see.
You have the guns in your view all the time, firing away, missiles launching right next to your head. It's a truly unique experience compared to our other ships.
We really tried to keep the HUD as minimal as possible. That was something I spent a lot of time in white box designing, like the layout of it and stuff. And we ended up settling on like just like a small kind of like glass transparent panel of all the MFDs and the radar at the top. The flight controls fold out of the armrest. There's a lot going on for people flying this ship. So the last thing we want is to like, you know, overthrow you with buttons.
Nice.
Area to actually shoot is tiny, right? This thing's like a real glass cannon.
By the way, for all you people that are saying that there are no young people working in CAG, this guy, he's like 16. Well, he looks like he's 16.
It's got such a dominating small profile. You probably look at it come towards you like, oh, what is that? You know, it feels like a wasp, but you'll probably hear it hit you before you
That's like
realize
super cool,
what it is.
dude.
The profile of this, it's so aggressive. It's like these massive triangle shapes, but it's still got that MISC kind of flow to it. So one of the things I cannot wait to see is when I'm stood on like Daymar or something and I look up and see like 5 of these things whiz past me at stupid speed. It's just really satisfying to see this silhouette flying around, whether you're in it or on the floor looking up.
Too furry,
The
too
Fury
furious.
chassis is designed to support multiple variants, and we're exploring these over time. But we are introducing an additional variant alongside the base version at Invictus Launch Week. The Fury MX takes the core of the base Fury and simply replaces all the guns with all the missiles.
The amount of missiles on the wings is just stupid. I remember being
How many missiles? Yes.
told how many we were going to be putting on it, and I like did everything I could to make sure like everything that was supposed to be a size 2 stayed a size 2. I think we've got like 20 missiles on it now,
Jesus
and only
fucking
like I
Christ.
think it's 8 of them are size 1s. So yeah, have fun with that.
It's the absolute no.
Although, you gotta say, like, the missiles ain't really working in Star Citizen. You can defeat them with, like, decoys, and that's it. So the other one is not gonna be really good, honestly.
over
Can't wait to
damage
miss a stationary target. Exactly, dude.
variants. This thing is designed to put out the maximum amount of damage in as short a period of time as possible.
On top of all the missiles, we also add a deployable blast shield, which provides additional armor to the front of the ship, whilst reducing visibility as the trade-off for that.
Why doesn't the other one have that? The other one is supposed to be like in your face tanking and fighting you, but instead the one with the missiles gets the armor. What? Why?
Deployable blast shield, which provides additional armor to the front of the ship, whilst reducing visibility as the trade-off for that.
We really wanted to make this variant feel different, and that's exactly what we've got here with the blast shield. I just think it's awesome the way it comes down. We got the little Mirai boot screen as well, taking some of the
This is
inspiration
so
from some of the
cool.
more alien manufacturers as
Wait.
well. And it
You can see the MISC BIOS. Honestly, this is so cool. But I strongly believe that the fighter variant, the other variant, the vanilla one should have this also.
as well, taking some of the inspiration from some of the more alien manufacturers as well. And it really gives it that kind of alien vibe. Like you can tell Xi'an Tech's been involved with it when you look at it when its blast shield's down. It's got all these cool sensors on the outside. It just looks utterly terrifying, and it's awesome.
So the MX is designed to launch from the parent craft, do one or more multiple missile attacks on larger crafts. So you launch, you commit to your run, deploy your blast shield down, launch your payload, and then get out of dodge and return. And utilizing all the tractor beam improvements in Alpha 319, you can then rearm the ship and repeat to your heart's content.
So it destroyed a Hammerhead with size 2 missiles. Size 1 and size 2. Never gonna happen, but sure.
So the Fury is designed to compete against some of our most agile and capable fighters, such as the Arrow.
Did you see the desync? So this is... Who's flying this one? Who's in the Arrow? I can't see the name. Wait.
So the Fury is designed to...
It's probably one of the CEG. Yeah, they're all like CEG. So...
compete
Check
against
the
some of
desync
our
here.
most agile and capable fighters.
Did you see the desync? And you know
Our
what?
most agile
The positional desync where you just like nudge to the left.
and capable
This is on their servers, dude.
fighters, such as
So that's why I'm saying for fucking ages now that it's like a netcode issue, that it's a networking issue, and not the issue with the servers. The servers might be an issue to a degree, but the netcode is
the Arrow and the Gladius. It does that by being much more agile than those, as well as being a smaller form. It does have limitations there. It doesn't have a quantum drive, so its range is sort of limited around planetary bodies, and ideally it is carried within other ships.
The Fury
This
doesn't
is
have a
super cool.
quantum drive because there's not room. If we tried to put a quantum drive in this thing, it would have doubled the size of it, and then it wouldn't have fit in as many ships as it can. It's more maneuverable, it's faster, it's more heavily armed. It's got everything going for it.
What do you mean it looks smooth? Did you not see the desync? Where is it? Let me replay you this again. Okay, it's here somewhere.
To compete against some of our most agile
So look at how this ship is moving. And check it out around here.
And capable of fighting.
Did you see the nudge? Or, I don't know, it should, like, yeah. It's to the left of my screen.
To
it's
compete
minimal.
against some of our most
It's minimal, but again, it's their servers, right?
agile.
Like, they're playing on a private server just made for them. Probably a server in the office.
And capable of fighting.
How do you not see that?
Such as the Arrow and the Gladius. It does that
did it
by
twice,
being much more agile than those, as well as being a smaller form. It does have limitations there. It doesn't have a quantum drive, so its range is sort of limited around planetary bodies, and ideally it is carried within other ships.
The Fury doesn't have a quantum drive because there's not room. If we tried to put a quantum drive in this thing, it would have doubled the size of it, and then it wouldn't have fit in as many ships as it can. It's more maneuverable, it's faster, it's more heavily armed, it's got everything going for it.
But see, here's the thing. This looks amazing, and not having a quantum drive is fine for a snub fighter, of course. But what is this snub fighter designed for? Like, which ship is going to be the transporter of this snub fighter? Because are you really going to get, like, with all the desync and all that, are you really going to get, like, a caterpillar and have, like, 12 inside? Hoping then that, like, the 12th one is not going to blow up the caterpillar itself and all the ships inside? Or are you going to get a C2? If you get a C2, it's going to be like a pain in the ass to, like, whatever you do, honestly, whatever you do in this game, I'm not even talking about the state of it right now. I'm talking about the physics. So the only good ship that can carry a snub fighter currently is the Andromeda and, like, the other variants. And the reason is because the snub fighter is at the back and it just drops, and the Andromeda or whatever, the constellation just, like, goes forward, and there's, like, little chance, like small chance of you clipping into the Andromeda and dying and killing the Andromeda in the process, right? This ship looks like it's designed for something like that, but we don't have a carrier for it. And I would like, hey, Starstreams, I would love to have, like, a big-ass ship that has, like, some guns, but carries, like, let's say 10, 12 of these things. That would be amazing. And if it's, like, proprietary tech, and if it's designed to do that, then desync and then, like, physics and all of that should not kill the carrier.
My favorite thing about the Mirror Fury is definitely the thrusters.
We've managed to get fully 180-degree rotating main thrusters, meaning that we don't have specific retros. This also means that it's got much more efficiency when it comes to turning and strafing and all sorts of flight maneuvers, because it can put its main thrust in.
This ship is going to be amazing for, like, low flying.
They are a great ship to bring along as a sort of defensive package to allow you to react to threats coming at you, or launch very short-range attacks on other ships.
I imagine people who are using, like, eye trackers, or, like, you know, they're really, like, on it, like, looking around, trying to see what's coming up. It's going to be super, super useful for them because you're in dogfights constantly in this thing.
Ideally, you would bring multiple of these, and because of their size, you can load quite a lot in quite a lot of our other ships.
This is cool, but the caterpillar is what's it called? The Carrack is moving, and you try to take off, but because of the Carrack moving, it's going to hit you, and you're going to destroy yourself and the Carrack. So what you need to do is you need to stop mid-fight and fly them off, which it shouldn't be like that, honestly. If that doesn't happen, you sure?
A lot of players and a lot of
You just take off quickly.
People like to bandy around
That
the
never
words,
happened to me,
pocket
ever,
carrier.
with a Pisces.
Well, this is the ship for the pocket carrier. This is the ship that will fill the pocket carrier. It's the pocket fighter.
In a fleet engagement, the Fury sort of takes on that very typical sci-fi trope of the larger fleet engagement starts, a ship opens its doors, and all these fighters pour out of it. It is so small and compact that
This
really,
looks amazing, yeah.
bringing lots of them is no disadvantage to yourself.
But also,
you just
this is a hazard.
launch them
A
all out
hazard.
of the ship, and they just cause merry havoc.
I really want like aircraft carrier vibes off this thing, and at events like Xenothreat or Jump Town,
Okay, this looks fun.
you'll just
honestly.
be sat on the ground looking up, defending it, and see this kind of normal-sized ship coming towards you, and you think, oh, we can deal with that. And then just Furies come flying from all directions at you, and you just don't know where to shoot. And like, all your ground-to-air defenses are like stretched because there's so many small targets fleeting around you. I just can't wait to see what the community does with this ship.
Did any of you like see landing gear in this ship? Is it gonna be like a hover thing, or how is it gonna work?
This ship has a big place in my heart as it's the first vehicle I've worked on here at CIG. I had so much fun designing like all the intricate details and how it would fold away and how it would all transform when it's in deployed mode. And I was so like impressed and amazed by how everyone from all the different departments brought it together. So it was like this massive moving, everything just seems to be moving constantly when you fly
They
around.
blew up fast. I mean, they did get hit like with 4 size 4s. So yeah.
And it really feels like it's alive almost, and it's really satisfying to just see how it comes over. And I can't wait to work on more ships that give me that feeling.
And hopefully everyone is excited about the Fury as we are internally. It's been probably one of the most favoured ships internally during its development. Then we'll look at doing some more variants in the future.
So
That's
what did we
cool.
learn this week? Well, we learned Mariah is making one heck of a first impression.
But see,
with
like he's talking
More
about
variants in the future.
variants, but they're not talking about the carrier for this thing. Yeah, you can like place it in the Caterpillar and all that, but again, you're gonna have issues unless the ships are stationary.
Fury, that there are 2 variants making
Also,
their
the
debut.
physics and the tick rate and all of that. It's just like honestly, having that in your ship is a liability.
This year's event, and that good things sometimes
They
do
probably
come in
plan to
small
fix
packages.
physics.
And that if there ever was
I mean,
a
yeah,
ship
at
that
some point,
punched above its
probably.
weight class, this would pretty much be the one.
And of course, it punches above its weight class.
I said the thing. Now, don't forget that Invictus Launch Week starts proper tomorrow, with all the festivities you're used to returning alongside with it. How many F-8 Lightnings are going to be stolen this year? We really want to know. Well, I mean, because I definitely don't have anything wagered in that office pool that we definitely don't have going. And of course, enjoy the improved new player experience, Loreville, tractor beam improvements, mining updates, new missions, and everything else the recently released Alpha 319 has to offer. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Thanks for exploring the process of game development with us, and we'll see you all here next week.
All right, Jared. All right, so this is gonna be posted onto my main channel as
Yeah, but in Wrath Squadron, the 5th book in the series, they had them as an optional upgrade. And then in Avenger Squadron in the expansion pack for the game, they had them too. So, what I'm saying is, can we? Please?
Huh? What? Anyway, this is gonna go onto my main channel as a YouTube clip. So thank you for watching, and yeah, thank you to all my patrons that are supporting the channel. If you want to support the channel, there's a link down in the description of the video. If you want to support me right now during the stream, super chats and all of that, Twitch, whatever. I don't know how it all works. I still didn't figure it out. Honestly, memberships, all of that. If you want to support me, if not, that's cool. Also, you have merch. Merch is pretty cool. Senior Citizen. You can get a bunch of like different stuff, and yeah, check it out. Check out the merch store, and I guess at least you're gonna have some fun and a couple of laughs. So with that said, thank you for watching, and don't forget to bring Untitled when you're traveling through space, and mwah, goodbye.